All right, so we're back, part two, because the video was going to be so long that I just wouldn't have been able to upload it along with everything else that I have in my camera roll. I have another update for you, which I didn't actually plan to address in this video, but no, that I didn't plan to address in this video because I've already addressed it, but I only did that in the description, so I'm going to just use this little bit of time here to address it on camera, and that is cold showers. So on day 57, I remember saying that one of my aims is to unlock the double under skill, which I still haven't yet done, and to also do cold showers. And I'm using this little bit of time to say that it's going, and I'm doing them consistently, at least once every day. And if I do so happen to want to have an evening shower for whatever reason, then I will still have a cold shower, it doesn't matter. And I know that because that's been the truth. I've gone and done that. I've had a cold shower in the evening before recently. I say this has been going on for at least a few days, man. At least a few days to latest 2 weeks, but it may not have been that long. However, yeah, it's going. It's certainly going, and I am doing the cold showers consistently, at least once every day. I'm not expecting myself to do it twice every day, but I'm certainly having my cold showers. Now, I need to go back to find out what the next topic I wanted to talk about is. The next topic that I wanted to talk about is something that I've addressed earlier in this real talk, which I did in part one, which is focus mode. So this is a mode that you have on the tablet, on the Samsung Galaxy S6 Lite. Boy, that's such an amazing thing. Yeah, this is something that I've just discovered today since getting it a few days ago, which I actually talked about in the productivity talk on the day I got it. Or got it given to me, I should say. But yeah, anyway, I've just discovered this today, and it's, I think, really already is going to help increase my productivity levels. What it does is it gives you the option to be able to click on certain apps that you know you want to use in order to do what you want to do, that you would consider productive. And in my case, I've got a few apps here and there like Google Chrome, Google. I got Samsung Notes, which is the main thing I'll be using to be able to do everything I've got on there, and others that I'm not thinking of at the moment. And with that in mind, after clicking on all of the apps that you do want and not clicking on the apps that you don't want, you can press done, and then the apps that you don't want go black and white. The app. So with for example, say you got YouTube, right? Obviously, their logo that you'd see before clicking onto the app on the phone, for example, would be the red button and the white background, yeah? And that turns black and white along with every single other app that you didn't click on, that you specified the tablet to explain to it that you didn't want to use it, yeah? They all go black and white. And with YouTube in particular, it's just not so appealing anymore. That, along with the fact that I've clearly, consciously specified that I don't want to be using the tablet for anything else other than doing what I set myself to do. So I think that also helps. And that leads me on to tip that I would give myself, which I'll just repeat later on in another slide, but yeah, the tip that I give myself is to turn this phone onto a black and white filter, so that again YouTube isn't so appealing to click on, because the red is it the red button, I'd say, genuinely could influence our behavior and make us want to click on it more, because red just wants us to do that. I think somehow. I certainly have read on the topic before, but I'm not gonna act like I know. I'm not gonna try and fake it and just talk rubbish. So yeah, I got the app. I got not. It's not an app. It's a mode inbuilt into the tablet, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it's really going to help my productivity levels, along with the fact that I've consciously specified that I'm going to use the tablet for nothing else other than doing what I set myself to do. And it just makes other things more convenient. For example, journaling. I can do gratitude journaling on there. I can do my tick box system on there that Hamza talks about, like gratitude, exercise, reading, meditation. And I've got a couple of extra things that I've put on there that I don't think he's spoken about, but it's for me personally because I want to work on them, which would be coming off, for example, one of them would be to come off the screens at 8:30 at the latest. So I have at least 1.5 hours before bedtime when I want to be falling asleep. All right. As the previous slide says, I'm now going to go over the tips that I give in order to improve from what I'm currently doing, in order to get that next step up. So the first one is to improve my sleep routine with the tips that I explained in the previous part, in my part 1 video. So that, just as a reminder, is to come off the screens, very generally speaking, 1.5 hours before wanting to go to sleep, not to bed, but to sleep. So if, for example, I want to start going to sleep at 10 p.m, I'll get off at 8:30. And that's what I've put in my tick box system on the tablet. So when I do that, I'll tick. If I don't, I'll cross. Just like how I had to do today, because I was on YouTube from midnight to about 1 in the morning. But with what I'm doing now, all of these plank journey videos and these real talks, that's going to change, trust me. The second one, other than improving sleep routine, would be to use the black and white filter, as I mentioned previously, before the last slide just came up, saying the tips that I want to improve, tips I give myself in order to improve. So I give myself, I advise myself to put the black and white filter on the iPhone, because doing that will mean that YouTube won't look as appealing because it's in black and white. And I know that's the case because I've already tested this on the tablet, not through having a black and white filter on the entire screen, but a black and white filter on the app picture, on the app logo before you click on it itself, through focus mode. That's what focus mode does. And another thing that I didn't mention that focus mode does is, if you go on a said app that you didn't actually put as an app that you want to use in order to focus, it will literally come up with a notification saying stay focused. And then from there, you can either press done so that you get back on track as you're supposed to, or you could go to settings to recalibrate the apps that you have that you want to focus on. But personally, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be consuming YouTube all day. I've done that many times in the past and I know I don't like it. I believe that's just wasting my time. So I personally wouldn't recalibrate the settings so I can use YouTube in focus mode. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I'm just saying the second tip I'll give myself is to put a black and white filter when to put a black and white filter when I'm not using the iPhone to create videos. Yeah, because I want to be able to see my videos in color. So when I'm creating content, that's fine. I don't mind not having it in black and white. I don't mind having it in color. That's okay with me. But if I'm to use it for whatever reason other than creating content, I'm going to put the black and white filter on, which is what I'm going to do after I've created the video that you're seeing now. I've made the thumbnail and I've made the title, and if I have anything to say on the description, then I've done that as well. And the last and final tip that I give myself, other than improving my sleep routine and using the black and white filter, that would be to get out of the bedroom. Don't do what I set myself inside the bed, inside where I sleep. It doesn't. This is where it'd be where I sleep. So it's gonna be all the more challenging. I've tried many times, countless times, to be able to do what I set myself at home, but in the room I sleep. But it just, very generally speaking, it just doesn't work. Not only because it'd be where I'm sleeping in a potentially dark environment, because uh, because the curtains are closed or something like that, for example, but also because of low um, low ability or low level of ability to be able to focus and concentrate on what I set myself to do, which focus mode is gonna, well, sorry, not is going to, has been helping me with, along with Samsung Notes that I'm using on the tablet, along with the fact that I'm using the tablet specifically for what I set myself to do and nothing else. That is it. But yeah, this is actually no. I have one more thing to say actually. So as a part of the tick box system that I've created on a Samsung Notes document, I put reading on there, and I personally think reading could really help me with my focus because I'm not just going to be reading for the fun of it. I actually want to learn something. I'm looking. I'm not going to go get it, but I've got a book that I'm currently reading about eating more healthily, and it goes into a lot of detail as to what's healthy and what isn't healthy, the sorts of foods that you should eat, or no, not that you should eat, that people eat who on average have very long lifespans, and also foods to avoid in terms of increasing, if you want to increase your longevity and the likelihood of how long your lifespan will last. For example, saturated or foods with saturated fats. I think sausages would be one of them. But yeah, I think reading, I'm going to start reading a lot more now, and the tick box system will help me keep up with that. Reason being, I not only want to learn, but I think doing that being reading, will allow me to improve my how long I can stay focused and paying attention onto one thing and really learning. I'd be reading, and with that I'd basically be learning how to learn, in a sense. Learning how to read. Learning how to learn about something. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. I may have rambled on about reading there. Probably said it many times. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the real talk. So there are only two parts to this. This is the final part for this real talk in particular. And that is it. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you could learn something from it. That's the end. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.